All right, what is up, everybody? So, what I'm going to be walking you through today is the impacts of the Age of Exploration assignment. This is something that I put into GoFormative. It's our first time using it in this classroom. I'm not sure if you guys have used it in your other classes yet, but I'm going to walk you through what I'm expecting you guys to accomplish on the assignment, and I'm going to read it to you as well. Hopefully that'll make things a little easier for you guys. So I'm going to read through it first, and then I will go through the little notes here and there. So when I go through it, you guys are going to see on the page, you'll see some like letters and numbers here and there. I'll explain what those mean after I'm done reading the video. Actually, I'll just do it now. Why not? So here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you can see the GoFormative assignment. Okay, and there's my face. Let me put that over here. All right, so we're looking at it in the student view. See, it says previewing as a student there. And this is what it's going to look like if you're using a Chromebook or a laptop. Okay, so the numbers and the letters correspond. The numbers correspond to the numbers you see in the text here. So you see a number 1 there, number 1 is here. That means you should be able to answer the question after reading up into that point. The letters, I'm sorry, correspond to audio recordings that are in the video. What I don't like about GoFormative though is that it doesn't tell you, it doesn't say like, okay, I don't know, hopefully you can see my cursor. It doesn't show you this, when you hit this play button, it corresponds to B, right? And then when you hit this one, it corresponds to C. And it doesn't do that for you. So you kind of have to like just keep things in order, and do your best to realize the order that things are in, you know? So it's a little tricky, but basically around like where you see the B there, you hit the play button, it's audio of me talking about about the verbiage that pops up around that B. So what I'm talking about here is the Western world and what that means. I don't know if you guys can hear the audio, but I'm going to play it. There we go. That's it. All I'm saying is that when we say the Western world, it corresponds to Europe and then like North and South and Central America. So the video, I mean, the assignment just goes like that. There's numbers. When you see the numbers, you'll see that, okay, I need to answer this question. It goes all the way to the bottom. And then there's 3 questions at the end. So I just kind of place them together in a group there. All right. So, and if you guys don't like the format of me like doing those little audio clips, just let me know. I know it could be a little confusing. If you have any suggestions about the way you've seen it in another class that's a little more easier for you to understand, I'm open to hearing those suggestions as well, okay? I got my caffeine, gotta get my water. Yeah, here we go. All right, impacts of the Age of Exploration. It's adapted from historycrunch.com, impacts of exploration. So the Age of Exploration, or Age of Discovery, is one of the most important events in the history of the Western world. It began in the early 15th century, that would be the 1400s, and continued until the end of the 17th century, and involved European explorers using their navigational skills to travel and explore the Western world. As an event, it would lead to transformative changes in the world and bring about an era of globalization, meaning the world became more interconnected than it had ever been before. Okay, so what I'm going to keep pounding on you guys is the idea that the Age of Exploration created these pathways in the world for ideas and goods to spread. Okay, the same way that the Silk Road did this in Asia. The Age of Exploration connected Europe and North and South and Central America. So those pathways are created, and then later the Enlightenment ideas that started in Europe would make their way along with people from Europe over to North America and South America. Excuse me, that's why you shouldn't be drinking coffee and water during a YouTube video, but I'm new to this. So those pathways opened up, the people start traveling, the ideas start traveling, and the ideas from the Enlightenment that started in Europe are what inspired these settlers in North America to rebel against England, who was controlling, you know, the English colonies in North America, and then eventually give birth to the United States. So again, what we're looking at the end of the seventh grade school year is basically a prequel of events that led up to the birth of the United States. Okay. Um, all right, so the voyages of Christopher Columbus beginning in 1492 are considered to be some of the most important events in all of human history. Columbus explored the New World for European nations, and his journey sparked a long period of European exploration in both North and South America. Many other explorers followed in his footsteps, including Henry Hudson, John Cabot, Jacques Cartier, Hernan Cortes, Francisco Pizarro, and many more. These explorers would lead to many different events that would forever change and alter the New World. Okay, and at that point, you should be able to answer this question. And the question is, in what ways did Francisco Pizarro change the world? We're asking this just because we already studied this back when we were all together in a happy little classroom. So I want you just to think back to those times. Okay, the answer is not here in the text. You're going to be thinking about what we talked about with the group that I can't mention because it'll give you the answer. All right. First and foremost, European exploration in the New World caused the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange was the transfer of plant species, animal species, and human beings and diseases between the New World and Old World following Columbus's 1492 voyage. In general, both the New World and Old World changed in dramatic ways as each was introduced to these things. For example, European and Asian diseases caused the death of millions in the New World. Smallpox alone was responsible for many deaths, as the indigenous people of the New World had never been exposed to the disease and had not built up immunity. Okay, so what we're seeing now is really similar to that. COVID is a new disease. No one has immunity. So the effects right now are at its worst because no one's body has seen this disease before or had to react to it. All right. Smallpox alone was responsible for many deaths, as the indigenous people of the New World had never been exposed to the disease and had not built up immunity. This would allow Europeans to more easily establish themselves in the New World and develop their colonies. On the other hand, the Old World was introduced to new food items from the New World, including blueberries, corn, potatoes, raspberries, tomatoes, and more. Second, European exploration led to the downfall of many different indigenous groups throughout North and South America. As previously mentioned, the Columbian Exchange caused the deaths of many due to disease, but European explorers also carried out several campaigns against the people of the New World. None of these is more famous than Spanish conquistador Hernan Cortes and his conquest of the Aztec Empire in modern-day Mexico. When Cortes and his men arrived into the area of the Aztec Empire, they became allies with the traditional enemies of the Aztecs. Aided by the spread of European diseases, such as smallpox, Cortes took control of the great Aztec capital city. Cortes built Mexico City on the ruins of Tenochtitlan, and it became one of the most powerful cities of in the Spanish Empire. Third, the age of exploration led to the mass migration of peoples to the New World. After exploring and establishing early settlements in the New World, European nations next established colonies along the Atlantic coastline of the New World. So I just want to take a step back. When you see peoples used as a word instead of just people, usually what they're referring to is people of different cultures. Okay, so if everyone's the same culture, you might say people. If we're talking about a bunch of different groups, we would say peoples. All right. Many of the colonies were used as part of the trade triangle, which also saw millions of African slaves brought to the New World aboard the slave ships of Europe. Between the 17th century and the early 20th century, millions of European people also came to the Americas and established new colonies, such as the United States and Canada. And obviously, when those started as colonies, they weren't called United States and they weren't called Canada, but there were colonies established that led to the formation of those countries. Today, these North America colonies are some of the most powerful and economically prosperous countries on the planet. All right, so like I said, as you guys are looking through this, when you come across a number on the text, that means you should look over here, and you're going to be asked a question that will be answered around where you saw the number in the text. Okay, so number 2 is here. The answer is going to be around here somewhere. Okay. 5, 6, and 7, like I said, they're all at the end. Those questions are sort of summative questions, meaning that they relate to the entire text. At the end, you're going to write 2 DOK1 questions. So I will include this page in the Google Classroom assignment, so you can reference that. I know a lot of you guys left your notebooks at home. So here it is for you, okay? It's going to be 2 DOK1 questions. If you want to just stop the video here and keep the screen there, you can do that as well, okay? But I will include it, include a copy of the page in the assignment. That is pretty much it, guys. Again, let me know how you feel about this assignment. I'll turn on comments for this video, so you guys can comment on the video on YouTube. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys again soon. Those of you who have been showing up in my office hours, thank you guys. It's a lot more fun when there's people there. And I think the people who are showing up would agree, right? It's as cool as I try to be, it's better when there's more people. So let's keep it up. It's too much work for me, guys, if there's only me and one other person. We can help each other out more if there's more of us. So miss you guys. I will see you later. Hope you're enjoying your time at home. Bye. Actually, I didn't stop the video yet, did I? I'll go ahead and stop it now.